Throughout my life, I've seen God's goodness and seen the power of love. But one of the greatest times was when I was imprisoned in Iran. With 2 death sentences on my life in Iran a few years ago, I never knew if I'd ever get out. But one of the big challenges I had there was God challenging me to love my enemies. I ended up being beaten every day by one man. He was my interrogator. And it was through this process of being there with him that God challenged me to love him. God challenged me to look at him through the eyes of God. At first, this seemed impossible because everything was about me. But over time, God radically changed my heart. I began to bless this man and love this man. And I'll never forget the last day I saw him. I had no idea it would be the last day I'd see him. But as usual, he took me to the interrogation room. And with bloodstains on the floor, I would stand there in fear. And it was on that day that the love and power of God came over me. And I looked at him and I said, "Sir, if I'm going to see you the rest of my life, let's become friends." He scoffed at me and said, "Never." And then I said again, "Sir, let's start by exchanging names. Let's become friends today." We had never exchanged names because that wasn't allowed. As I stuck out my hand to shake his hand, he froze. When he froze, then he started to shake. As he started to shake, he started to look around the room. As he looked around the room, all of a sudden his hand came out of his pocket and he reached it towards me and he shook my hand. When he shook my hand, all of a sudden he started to weep and tears started to flow down his face. It was then that he looked at me and he said these simple words, "Dan, my name is Razak and I would love to be your friend." And it was at that moment that I knew that there was no heart too hard for Jesus. That even in my darkest hour, even with the greatest enemy right before me, the power of love was real and it changed his heart.